Hey, how's it going, guys? MrBossFTW here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be doing another Q&A video where I take your questions from Twitter and I answer them all in this video. Now, in today's video, we're going to be tackling all the questions you guys asked me on Twitter using the hashtag AskBoss. So if you want to get involved in the next episode, all you have to do is go down in the description there, follow me, and I ask about once a week when I do these Q&A videos, and I always pick the best questions to be featured. So that's how you can get involved in the next one, but of course, without out of the way, let's not waste any more time and let's jump straight into the questions and straight into the Q&A. All right, so we're actually going to be starting this Q&A off with two questions regarding Lowriders Part 2. There were a bunch on Lowriders Part 2, but I didn't want to make it an entire Q&A based on that DLC alone. So I got two questions in particular. One of them is from Benjamin, and he says, do you think Lowriders Part 2 is coming 100%? And also from Rasmus, who says, when does Lowriders DLC Part 2 coming out? So to answer the first part of that question, do I think Lowriders Part 2 is 100% coming out? No, I can't say for 100% certainty that it is coming out because nothing has been talked about from Rockstar. But there are a bunch of leaks, there are a bunch of coding, there's the entire car list we have for Lowriders Part 2. If we go back and reference the Dragoon leaks, we've already seen liveries for a few of the Lowriders, like the Vapid Slam van and the Sabre GT, that look to be Lowrider editions in the game. So while I can't say with 100% certainty that Lowriders Part 2 is coming out, with all the rumors, with all the leaks, with all the information from trusted sources, I'm about 90 to 95% sure that Rockstar will be doing a Lowriders Part 2. I mean, it was one of the most popular DLCs in the game, and if Rockstar already had plans to originally do 12 cars and kind of split it in half and do 6 in one DLC and 6 in the other, like I'm guessing they're going to do for Part 2, then I can't imagine why they wouldn't want to do a Part 2. So, like I said, I can't say with 100% certainty that it's going to be coming out. I'm about 90 to 95%. And to answer the second question, when does it come out? The rumor has been February that it's going to be launching with Valentine's Day content. I think I've already made videos on this in the past, and I think there might be some more information that I might be covering in a day or two regarding this. But really, we don't have a release date. We don't know. That's just what from people have told us from those trusted, verified sources, that it looks to be coming out in February, which is kind of close. It's about 20 days away. So again, we're going to keep our ears and our eyes listening out for Rockstar and any more information, and I will of course update you guys here back on my channel. Our next question comes from Tanner, and he says, what do you think will be the biggest DLC that will come out this year? That's a really good question, Tanner. I have no clue what's in store for GTA Online in 2016. I think it's anyone's best guess as to what could be coming out in terms of the biggest DLC, because in Grand Theft Auto 5 in 2015, I think we got the biggest DLCs towards the end of the year. I mean, up until Rockstar launched the free mode events update, there wasn't anything spectacular other than the heist update, really what they did in 2015. So again, who knows what Rockstar's plans are, if anything involving the casino or a story mode expansion or Liberty City. I hate to bring that up again, but you know that I've been getting asked a lot of questions about that also. Yeah, I can see that considering being a big DLC, but I think that's a good question to leave up to you guys in the comments section down below. What do you think the biggest DLC is going to come to GTA 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online for that regard in the year 2016? Let me know what you guys are thinking about in the comments section down below. Our next question comes from Mosin the Kiwi, and he says, ask boss, what is the fastest way to earn money in GTA Online? I get this question a lot. I try not to cover it every Q&A, but do it every once in a while so that you guys can stay up to date on some of the fastest ways. And if you need an updated video, I might consider doing like the top 5 updated fastest ways to make money. But regardless, there's two ways that I still like doing. One of them is taking advantage of Rockstar's event weekends, where there's typically double money and double RP on whether it be races or jobs or events. That's a pretty easy thing to do, and with it comes new content, so I always like to jump on there and take advantage of that. Also, heist missions are still pretty valuable and can still get you a lot of money, especially if you do it with a crew that's pretty competent, so you can kind of like speed run through each mission. That's a great way to earn money. And you also mentioned fastest. I've said it in the past, there's nothing faster than a shark card. Like I said, you guys can either hate them or you love them, but shark card is like the fastest one-click way to get money. And I've said this in the past that I don't recommend you get them on like the PSN store, the Xbox Live store. I've got a link in the description subscription to G2A. I work with G2A. It's where I get my shark cards for DLCs, and they're actually a lot cheaper than what you'll get them on like the Rockstar store or like PSN store, Xbox Live. So go check out the G2A link in the description. That's where I get my cheaper shark cards. They have it for all systems as well. So I recommend you do the same. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below if you'd want like some sort of updated video on how to get money in GTA Online, and I'll gladly do that. JM Shady says, #AskBoss, do you think there will be more holiday updates like Valentine's, Easter, Halloween, etc.? I certainly think there is, JM, and I don't know which ones they're going to be. You would think Rockstar would want to do the Valentine's Day DLC 2016, and of course there's been rumors of that coming out with Lowriders Part 2, so we're really just gonna have to stand by to see if that one will be coming out, because that would certainly be the next one on the list. You mentioned Easter. That one might be a hard one considering that's a religious holiday, and thus only a certain segment of your population would be able to celebrate something like that. I still think Rockstar could get pretty creative and do something like that. Halloween also, we of course know that's going to be happening, but yeah, you would just have to think of what other holiday things there could be done in the game. Rockstar's pretty much covered most of the big ones, I would say, outside of Easter, but again, I think that one's tricky just because of the religious aspect of that. But yeah, I certainly think Rockstar has the chance to capitalize on some more holiday themed updates, with the Valentine's Day one looking to be knocking on the door next in terms of what we might get. So we're just gonna have to keep an ear out for that. And that's actually a great segue into our next question from John Norberg, who says, #AskBoss, do you have any predictions on vehicles that could come with the Valentine's Day update if the update is coming out? So that's a great question. Obviously, that is pending if a Valentine's Day update would come out. And my only prediction is going to be going back to the car we got with the original Valentine's Day DLC, and that was the Albany Roosevelt, which was kind of this like 1920s, 1930s kind of mobster limousine. And I think cars like that would be really cool, like cars that you would maybe see like Al Capone driving, or just mobster style vehicles that represent the 1920s, the 1930s, and 40s would be really cool. So I'm thinking that theme would be the best for Valentine's Day. Again, I'm really not too sure what else Rockstar could do. I mean, they could get some wacky cars. They could get like a Cupid mobile or a Heart mobile or something like that. I really don't know. If they wanted to go the wacky and crazy route, they certainly could. But if they wanted to go the more serious route, I would think that doing something along the lines of 1920s, 30s mobster style cars would certainly fit the bill for a Valentine's Day update. Nicholas says, #AskBoss, would you buy a fully customizable yacht that you could store cars and Pegasus vehicles on for $20 million? Now, I'm not sure if I would pay $20 million for a yacht that would just store cars and Pegasus vehicles, really because I don't think the car feature is cool enough, unless like you were to put it on display. But I do think the Pegasus vehicle is pretty cool. But your question does bring me to a bigger topic, which I've talked about in other videos, so I won't go on it for too long. But the yachts need to have more stuff on them because they're already kind of wearing off for me. They're just floating apartments, and really you can only go in the hot tub so many times, you can only go in the interior so many times before it does get boring. So yes, to your point, I would pay more money for a yacht that had more features like mini games or Pegasus spawn points, but I've talked about that in previous videos, so I don't want to go on too long on that topic. But yes, you are right, I would pay more money for yachts that have more features. All right, and our final question comes from Noah Green, and he says, do you think Beach Bum 2 could be a thing? Wow, that is a major throwback, Noah. I'm sure a lot of you guys, or some of you at least, might not even know what the Beach Bum update was. It was actually the only GTA Online update that happened in 2013. It happened in November 2013. It was the first GTA Online update we got. It was the Beach Bum update. In my opinion, it was one of the worst just because the cars it contained were kind of wacky. It was like a beach minivan. It was like a little go-kart. And the weapons were really weird too. It was like a little pistol and a broken bottle. Now, granted, it was Rockstar's first DLC, and they've done so many other amazing things after that. But at the time, everyone was like, whoa, the Beach Bum DLC. And now that we've seen so many other DLCs, we're like, man, that was like not a very good DLC. So I think Rockstar could make Beach Bum 2 really cool if they were to do like new elements to it, other than just like beach-themed cars, weapons, clothing, and more. But really, I think they would be best served to move on from something like that. But who knows? Maybe they could make it really cool. Anyways, that's all the questions that I'm going to be talking about for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. Once again, if you want to get involved, be sure to follow me on Twitter and just submit a question every time I ask for Q&A questions. If you did go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily grind Grand Theft Auto 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.